am Arno Danjuma. Watch La Liga on Sporty.
Hi, I'm Joseph Edu. Watch La Liga on Sporty.
Yes, welcome along to the Sporty Show, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and happy Saturday. And thank you to Joseph Edu and Danjuma as they both won their respective La Liga matches with Celta Vigo and Villarreal. As I am Sarah Pariah, this is also Klinton Cod.
Oh yes, it's your boy Klinton Cod. What's going on? We are back here to dismantle the Premier League. I'm really excited about today, you know. There's so much to look out for. But before we get into it, let me also introduce one and only the tallest man in Madrid. It's Alex Ashmore. Alex, what's going on,
Another Saturday. I'm excited. Football again. Saturday is the best day of the week.
You know what? I was just going to say that. It's not just the best day of the week. It's the best day being in the studio. For some reason, you know, there's an aura that comes with
You're excited for the day's Premier League, for La Liga, for everything.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of EFL.
I mean, I'm also very excited about the shocks that would usually happen on Saturdays. For example, who knows? City might end up, you know, being defeated. I mean, these are the things that get me really excited. These are the things I want to see.
You're a bit more excited going into Saturday because sometimes, depending on the Saturday results, it can affect your Sunday results.
No.
Because I do love a good Sunday football match, curled up on the couch. You know, a cozy Sunday watching football is lovely, but usually with so much football on the Saturday, it can affect your mood because we do let these 11 men running around on the pitch really just...
Really do.
They really just sway our opinions here. But yeah, guys, we have so much to talk about. So let's also bring in the one and only Gary from Accra.
Yes, boss, please.
Yes, Gary, welcome back. How are we feeling?
Thank you.
Morning,
Hi,
Gary?
guys.
Are you awake? Did you have your coffee? Did you have your tea? Are you feeling good?
Yeah, I'm awake, awake. Had a good night's sleep. Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. We got a lot to talk about, Gary. So let's start with Manchester United taking on Brighton. Obviously, we spoke a little bit about them yesterday, but let's get into it more. Klinton, you're a Manchester United fan.
Yes, I am. And I am also a United fan.
What?
So I'm a fan twice.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm that much of a diehard fan of Manchester United.
Hang on.
Alex, please.
A week ago, you said if
time.
Osimhen went to Chelsea, you'd become
That's
a
what I was
Chelsea
literally
fan.
going to say. If Osimhen goes to Chelsea, right, I would then take off one part of my United. So I'll just become a Manchester United fan and a Chelsea. But I have to be a fan of at least two. So in case one disappoints. Like, imagine being an Arsenal fan all these years. Fam, is it... Like,
imagine being loyal.
Well,
Gary,
being loyal and always getting disappointments.
He can't understand us.
Just imagine it. Sometimes in life, you need to understand that you cannot just dwell on Arsenal fans. If I was you, I would be Arsenal fan and I would be a Madrid fan, just in case one of your team is messing things up.
I hate these kind of fans. I hate people that support one club.
I'm just saying.
It makes my hair stand up. Like, it freaks me out. Gary, I can't be one of them. I don't know about you.
No. Arsenal for life.
For life, that's it. One
sadness,
club and one club
sadness
only.
for life.
Hey,
depression for life.
Loyalty is life.
So what are you going to say? So Sarah and Klinton, what are you going to say about people who support teams like Valladolid and Ipswich Town?
No. Listen.
And Rennes.
No, listen, those ones, see, all these kind of teams, all these kind of, no, let me tell you, all these kind of teams, what you got to understand is they are not really fans. Those are their birthrights. There's a difference between, it's like you were born into those cities and you just have to support them. Because if you ask people like that, right, they will tell you that, oh, I'm a Rennes fan, but I am a Madrid fan. Does that make sense? Like, I've seen people from Luton who tell you.
I mean, look, in my time, I've seen a fair few people who straddle both things. And so you will see that they say, look, I've supported, Alex, give me some random Carlisle United, Plymouth Argyle. Like, Sarah, give me some typical Spanish, what's the name of the island team? The small island team in Spain. What?
Tenerife.
I mean, or he could be talking about Mallorca.
Mallorca,
Las
Tenerife,
Palmas is the
or
team.
Las
Good old
Palmas.
Tarragona.
Tarragona, my goodness.
Alex's favorite team? No, I understand. People that are, they support these smaller teams, but I've never had more than one team. I never understood, like, I can't.
No, but your team is Barcelona. So you it's understandable.
But I've had the good and the bad, to be fair. I've had the best and the bad. I've had the
exactly
best of all time best. I'm talking 2 trebles. And now I'm hungry again. I'm hungry. But okay, let's go back to Klinton's team. Manchester United taking on Brighton this weekend. This is what Erik ten Hag had to say about Joshua Zirkzee opening up his campaign, already scoring for the Red Devils.
Last year with Rasmus Højlund, when he scored in his first game against Brighton, and then the VR looked for 5 minutes, and then they came to the conclusion, the ball from Rashford crossed the line in his assist. And then he had to wait 3 months for his first Premier League goal. So yeah, it helps absolutely. He scores his first goal, give him confidence, and give us confidence as a team. Very good process. So.
How important is it that Klinton, that Joshua Zirkzee has already scored, and obviously he has his confidence building for this Man United side?
Well, I mean, first of all, you got to understand this. Zirkzee I think he's a talented player, right? And sometimes when you know what you're capable of, the confidence is already there. I mean, his first game, when he came on the game, you could clearly tell that he knew what he was coming to do. He knew that even if he didn't score a goal, there was going to be some level of impact. And, he was that guy I saw proper confidence in, even as a fan watching. I knew that if he was going to come on, there's going to be some level of change. Before he came to Manchester United, I went to watch a few clips of, from him playing in his previous teams, and I saw the talent. I knew this guy was coming to make a difference. Nearly the kind of person I see in Garnacho, right? Garnacho's first game was nearly the same kind of aura. He came in and I said, wow, we have a replacement for Cristiano Ronaldo. Man, he didn't obviously continue, but he was that guy that, now, obviously, things have changed. This Zirkzee guy, I think he's going to be that guy who's going to be consistent. He's going to be delivering that thing that we've not seen in Manchester United. And that's why I'm so confident about Manchester United as we speak. I know that with what we have, the like of Amad Diallo, Garnacho, now we have Zirkzee, right? Højlund, I'm not too sure about. I feel like that one has some level of spiritual problem that needs some cleansing. He needs to go to Accra, get... Gary's connect. Gary knows a lot of them that does this cleansing stuff, But right now, take away Højlund, I believe in Manchester United, we have a very bright future. It's not going to be the Manchester United of before. It's going to be a proper Manchester. Zirkzee, shit. Sorry for the language, but please, Oscar, I'm sorry.
Thanks for that.
He's a star boy,
Alex, we spoke about Brighton a little bit last week and how we're uncertain of how they will do. And since last season, they've kind of been dwindling a little bit. But this is their first game at home, Amex Stadium, the Seagulls fans, they're going to be out and about. And this team still does have, a lot of talent in Mitoma, in Welbeck, in Julio Enciso. But is there part of them, obviously playing a team like United, anytime you play United, it's a big match. Every team in the Premier League knows that. But first home game, and they've seen this United team, crumble before. They've seen holes in this team. Are they going into this, thinking, yeah, we have a good chance?
I definitely think so. I think Brighton as a team, yes, impressed against Everton. I thought they played really well. Saw a few defensive frailties, but I think with Fabian Herzler coming in, I've really been impressed with how, Brighton generally aren't a big spending club, but they've spent, nearly over 150 million this summer. And obviously just bringing in their record signing, Jorginho Rutter from Leeds. So, they've spent money and they look like they're going about business in a way that they want to get back to the year when they qualified for the Europa League. And I think they're capable of it. And, last time out, the two sides played, they lost, but I think when you look at the previous record between these two clubs, United's worst record against anyone in the top flight is against Brighton. They've lost almost 50% of the last 15 games. So Brighton will take a lot of confidence going into that, and I think the players they have, it's at home. I think they'll make United struggle, and I can see them pulling off a result.
Yeah.
No. Don't say. Listen. Don't say that whilst I'm sitting here because listen. You know, I get really angry very easy. Like Alex, if you want to say things like they could pull off some, don't say they're going to win Manchester. You clearly know Manchester United. We are not joking this season.
Do you have a bet?
Alex, if we win, no wait.
Make it official.
No wait.
Make it official.
If Manchester United wins today, I know this your glasses. They are very expensive. Alex, I'm taking it from you. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. You would come on this show blind for the next 3 weeks. 3 weeks, you will come on this show blind. Come on, let's go.
If Manchester...
Listen, you're here.
I'm here.
Gary, you are a witness from Accra, and I know that you are a guy that you are very principled. You are not the kind of guy that.
He's not you.
Well, no, Sarah, you're gonna piss me. Like, no, you guys are gonna piss me off now. You guys are gonna piss me off soon. All right, but let's see.
Yeah, if United win, I'll do a piece down camera apologising to you and saying you're a better footballer than me.
No, listen. Wait. Did he just say, wait, I'm really a better footballer than you.
I'm here for it.
What's he on about?
I'm here for it.
Alex, if Manchester United wins, you're going to climb on this table, right? And you will kneel down in front of me. Anyways, nah.
Markinde is saying, watch out for Mitoma. Well, let's see what he has today.
Mitoma will do nothing. Mitoma last season, what did he do now? What did he do?
Let's talk about
I've told you guys that what Brighton does is they are you know how you have money laundering scheme, right? Their own is just a player laundering scheme. All they do is they buy players for cheap, they train them, and then when they feel like this player is matured, Mitoma is not even matured enough for them to sell him out. They've been selling all their best players. They are not in the Premier League because they want to win Champions League or they want to win Euros or whatever. They are just doing it because they want to be able to sell players. That's all they do.
Let's talk about
170 million this summer. Surely that signals some sort of intent.
Fam, 170 million is chicken change. That's how much.
For a club like Brighton, obviously they're not going to be spending hundreds of millions like Chelsea or Manchester United. But for a club like Brighton, who in the last 20 years have played in the lowest ebbs of the Football League, to spend 170 million on players...
Perspective.
Yeah, it shows some intent.
Yeah, no, listen, like I said, right, there is no, for me, this is all business strategy. You spend 170 million and then these players become monsters. How much do you sell them for? They're probably going to cash out on maybe 500 or 6. Like, fam, how much was Caicedo to Chelsea? You know, when you think about things like this, you would understand that Brighton, these guys, it's just a money laundering scheme. It's a player laundering scheme, man. They're not going to do anything to Manchester United. Trust me on that one.
Well, let's talk about somebody who hadn't done anything last season for Manchester United in Casemiro. We have an interesting stat here because Manchester United are heavily linked to Ugarte from PSG. And when you look at the comparison, Gary, I'm asking this question to you, and if we can get that graphic up, that would be great. Ugarte potentially coming in for Manchester United, and with the way Casemiro performed last season, would you see kind of a complete swap out for a player here?
Well, if they can keep both, that would be great. Because players like Casemiro, there's a saying in these parts that experience is not sold on the market. So you can't just go to the market, to the mall and say, oh, yeah, 15 years of football experience and trophies. Yeah, bye. You can't do that. So, but yes, if you look at the comparisons, you are tempted to think one is younger and is in better form, admittedly, than Casemiro. But I think having both will be great, so long as, Casemiro is willing to challenge for that spot. Yes, that's the choice of words I want to use. What was Casemiro's problem last season? Aside a couple injuries, I think there was a slight lack of ambition, if I can say, for the veteran Brazilian. I think he's shown a bit of that in the few games that I've seen him in. And I think that he will still be good for Manchester United. So as much as football is like a fast food business and we want to see out with the old and in with the new, I think it would be nice to have both of them. But if they should ship Casemiro out yes, that will be having a bit of money before the window ends and to do something else with it in some of the areas that they might want to strengthen in. So it will make sense as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. Alex, do you see that Ugarte coming to United being a really good fit? How do you expect this to go over?
I think it's a good signing. I think perhaps a player that they need. We've seen in the last 24 hours that Napoli have put in an official bid for McTominay, and You know, if they lose McTominay, who I think is a solid player for that midfield, they do need someone to come in. Casemiro is brilliant, but he is, you know, he's not getting any younger. And I think sometimes you see, you know, through no fault of his own, it's natural. Sometimes the pace of the game does catch up to you. And I think when you've got a lad who's coming in from PSG, he's played, you know, in Europe's top leagues, and I think obviously the Premier League is a little bit of a step up, but I think when you look at his age and those stats there, talking about how he brings that energy to the midfield, and I think also it will allow, well, his defensive capabilities will also allow Kobbie Mainoo just to, you know, be a bit more free and not have to worry so much about tracking back. Obviously, he will still track back, but I think when you have that defensive security behind you, you're a bit more at ease to go forward and contribute to the attack. So I think it sounds like a sensible signing for Manchester United and something that a player that they need. And for once, I think a good piece of business. And I think, you know, generally this summer, they've been fairly sensible with their business, I think, Manchester United.
Yep, I agree. All right, before we move along, let's get some predictions from you gentlemen, because we do have a bit of a bet on the table here, if you will. Klinton, score prediction for Manchester United versus Brighton, please.
I think it's going to be 3-1 to Manchester United, 180%. Listen, you want to go on that one again? If I win you on that, your bow tie, you're not going to wear it for 10 weeks.
10 weeks?
Let's go.
No, come on, give me something a bit better than that. We like the bow tie.
You like the bow tie?
Well, I mean,
exactly.
you could say for like a show. He doesn't have to wear it for a show.
If Manchester United win, I'll get a little Manchester United badge and put it on my suit.
For how many weeks?
Until next week.
No, you can't say. Come on, what do you mean?
That's actually good.
No, it's not good.
Never put like any of that.
Listen,
on.
if Manchester United wins today, you're going to be wearing the Manchester United badge for 6 weeks. Let's go.
Not 6
6
weeks.
weeks.
Yes.
3
Klinton,
weeks.
it's the second game. This is too crazy.
What do you mean?
Know how to do a bet. Like, just figure it out. All right. Alex, score prediction, please.
I'm going to go...
And you know you have to. And now you have to.
I'm going to go 1-1. I think, you know, Brighton... I have confidence in Brighton. I think United definitely have improved since last season. But I think it'll be a tough game. So, yeah, I'm going to go 1-1.
Okay, Gary, what do we think?
United 2-1.
All right,
United
simple as that. Simple as that. All right, another team that is in action this weekend, and that has a fan at this table as well. Chelsea taking on Wolves. Chelsea playing some midweek football in the Europa Conference League playoffs, winning 2-0 to Servette, the Swiss side, with Christopher Nkunku scoring a penalty. And Noni Madueke getting on the scoreboard, 2-0 to Chelsea. And Klinton Codd, I'm going to let you run here because I know you have a lot to say.
No, I mean, I don't have a lot to say. It's very simple. And I've always said it that Enzo Maresca is a very annoying coach. And sometimes I feel like clearly, even your fans, the people are saying to you that this is what will work for Chelsea. But somehow it feels like they don't listen. You know, it feels like, you know, when I was little, you know, if you don't listen, they will say you have a coconut head, right? And they say something to your right ear, it goes out through your left ear, yeah? Which is what I think happens with a lot of, I don't know what happens to Chelsea. This guy called Noni Madueke is a star boy of Chelsea as we speak. I feel like he should be a regular starter. I feel like, see, if I was the coach, and I look at the way Chelsea plays, right, I would have Noni Madueke starting from the right. Yeah, and I have Nkunku start, you know, maybe, okay, yeah, they don't have Raheem Sterling anymore, and that's something we really need to speak about because I really do not understand what's going on with them and Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling, for some reason, he's not, you know, I just feel bad. I feel bad because, you know, with Raheem Sterling, Noni Madueke, and Christopher Nkunku, these three fronts, right, they are capable of delivering a Champions League football for Chelsea. But why is it that they don't see this thing from that perspective? I understand that the whole thing with Sterling might be some kind of issues going on, business, whatever it is. I don't know. But Chelsea, they have enough to play Champions League football. You see, Madueke, whenever he comes on that pitch, there's something that means he just changes everything with that wing. I can tell you that I rate Noni Madueke as much as I will rate Michael Olise. Because I see what he does on the pitch. I see how fast, I see how skillful, I see how much he's trying to make a difference on the pitch. But why does he not get a regular start? It's something I do not understand till tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So is it that the coach, they see... See, listen. A lot of these times, these guys, they get paid a very huge amount of money to be coaches. But I feel like, fam, you don't... Pay me 10% of what you give to these guys, and I will deliver a Champions League football for Chelsea. Chelsea, they have it. No,
You'll
sincerely,
bring
fam, you are
United a Premier League in 2 years. You'll bring a championship
Listen,
to Chelsea.
I know what
Ladies and gentlemen, he's available for coaching.
No, for real. I know what I'm capable of. These guys, they don't know what they are doing. Enzo Maresca is probably worse than Finidi George to me.
Oh, say it one more time. Say it one more time.
I said Enzo Maresca is worse than Finidi George. Now me talk am. No, listen, you see, whenever I speak about Chelsea, you will think I'm a Chelsea fan with how much passion I have, right, for Chelsea.
Well.
No, I would have been. Let's wait for Victor Osimhen. If Victor Osimhen comes to Chelsea, I've told you guys before, if Victor Osimhen goes to Chelsea, I am a full-time Chelsea fan. I don't know why I love Chelsea. Maybe the reason I love Chelsea is only because I see potential in Chelsea. I see that they have the kind of talents that should be doing better than what Chelsea does at this point. But they don't have somebody, they don't have that Ancelotti kind of mentality, that kind of coach that would bring out the best in players. I feel like that's what Chelsea, like, they have the players, they have the talents, they have the squad. Yeah, I understand that they've been signing crowd in their team, but inside that crowd, there are proper talents. Of course, there are so many rubbish players there. Nicholas Jackson is one of them. I feel like I should, listen, and this is an argument I had on Twitter the other day. I said Nicholas Jackson, normally a serious coach would not play him as a striker. You can clearly see his stronghold. I would rather play Nicholas Jackson as a winger or even a midfielder because his creativity comes there. But when it comes to front of that goal, it's not Nicholas Jackson. The question is, why is nobody seeing this stuff? If Nicholas Jackson was that good, we would not be speaking about Victor Osimhen today. Nobody will be thinking about, oh, we need Victor Osimhen, blah, blah, blah. No, the question is, why is nobody in that Chelsea management? I'm talking about both the business aspect of Chelsea, the coaching. Why is the fans, we see it. I can tell you that I have friends who, when they analyze Chelsea for you, you would know that they will do better than these guys that they keep buying and they call them managers and coaches.
Alex, is it not fair to say that a lot of this might be on Todd Boehly and not the managers? Because I don't think we can look at the managers that Chelsea have had and say they're bad managers. I think anyone going into a situation like this, where you have a squad of over 50 players, there's immense pressure because a team that was once top of the table is now a mid-level club. And it's difficult for anyone. We've seen it with Graham Potter. We've seen it with Thomas Tuchel. But we've seen them have success at other clubs. And what does success mean? It's very different. But I think there might be too much pressure Klinton is putting on Maresca, especially 2 matches in, when Todd Boehly seems to be running around making very irrational decisions.
Todd Boehly, I know you're asking Alex, but before, no. Wait. I know I've spoken. Hold on. The reason I want to just cut you quickly before you hand it over to Alex is the fact that Todd Boehly, what does he do? He does the financial. He's not a coach. He's not the one saying.
But he has more than 50 players on this squad.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He's brought the talent. He's brought the squad. It's the job of the coach. It's the job of the manager.
The dad, the uncle, the grandfather down the street.
Listen, Sarah. What I'm saying to you is, Todd Boehly, what he's been doing is he's been purchasing the players. It's not his job to select who comes on the pitch. My question is, you have seen Chelsea as a manager who has just been employed. Before you started your job, I understand that you have gone to look at what they've been doing maybe the last few seasons. You've looked at the talents of these players. Why do you not see the potential of somebody like Noni Madueke, for example, who I believe is performing way better than a lot of the wingers in Chelsea? Why does he not get a regular start? That is the question. In the last 2 games they played before the one that they won 2-0, right? I think it was with Manchester City, right? You had Enzo Fernandez being the poorest person on the pitch, but you were quick to make changes for the people who are making more impact on the pitch. This is my problem. Why do they not see these things? Why do you not see a team that you look at everything from your manager's seat? You are seeing that this player can't even trap the ball. This player can't even deliver a pass. This player is not even solid on the pitch. But he's the one who's playing 90 minutes. And the ones who are meant to be playing 90 minutes are the ones who are subbed off. That's the thing. That's my question. Why do they not see? Alex, sorry, she was going to ask you a question. I give you the time to say it now.
Do you remember the question?
I vaguely, yes. I mean, yeah, I think when you look at what Todd Boehly's come in, you know, he's been here all of 3 years now, I think. And yes, you know, you look back at the Abramovich era, we were sacking managers left, right, and centre, but we had the success. We had, the eras with Mourinho, we had Ancelotti, we had, obviously the Champions League with Tuchel. I think when you look at how Todd Bowley's gone about his business, and there was a rumour, I don't know whether this is true, but there was a rumour that when he came in, he thought that because Chelsea had played in the Champions League before, that was an automatic qualification. They didn't have to finish top 4, which shows you how much, if it is true, how much he knows about running a football club, or how little he knows about running a football club. And you see the decisions that he's made. We've had 4 permanent managers since he's been here, and I look at the likes of Thomas Tuchel, who perhaps one of the most underrated managers in world football. He's won a Champions League with Chelsea when he arrived in February or March of the season. He's come in and then got sacked in September. Graham Potter was an odd appointment at best. He's done well at Brighton, yes, but you take him out of Brighton, he's a little fish in a big pond. With all due respect to Graham Potter, I look at the appointments of Mauricio Pochettino. I think that was a sensible appointment. To then see how well he improved towards the end of the season, see how well Chelsea did. These things, you're not going to make instant impact. These things take time to work. I've said it countless times before. Chelsea, when you're bringing in these players, they need time to get used to playing with each other. The squad needs to gel. The squad did do that at the end of the season. And then what's he going to do? He's going to sack Mauricio Pochettino. And then bringing in Enzo Maresca, again, with all due respect to Enzo Maresca, I don't think he's got the experience for the Chelsea job. He's won the Championship with Leicester. Yes, he's had that experience under Pep Guardiola, but I don't think there's a big difference between being the assistant and being the manager. Yeah. And when you're coming into a squad with so many players, you need to have that experience of managing those squads. You look at the managers that were available. There are so many other options that I would have rather have gone for. And obviously, there are certain things that I will blame Maresca for. I think tactically there are some decisions that I disagree with. But when you look at how the club is run, how they've treated players like Conor Gallagher, how they've treated players like Raheem Sterling, it's frankly disgusting. And, for the way that Todd Bowley's run this club, it's been a shambles since he's arrived.
Gary, do you agree with Alex in that more of the blame is falling on owner Todd Bowley rather than the likes of all the managers that have filtered through this Chelsea side?
Absolutely, because Chelsea is not a mid-table club. Chelsea's storied history, particularly in the Abramovich era, has been underlined by ambitious signings of both players and especially managers, such that the standards have become ridiculously high. Now, they are nothing close to high. You could win a Champions League and you'll be looking over your shoulder. That is Chelsea Football Club. You could win a double and you'll be looking over your shoulder because that season probably the kinds of players in there who had been given to you and who you had ordered from the shop, from the transfer shop, should have been able to, or the team was in a position for a triple, right? Or for a treble, sorry. Look, Todd Bowley, if I were at Chelsea, I'll be singing Todd Bowley, you don't know what you are doing. I mean, if it's possible, you'd be chanting that song as well, because that is exactly what is happening. And everything Alex said is something I agree with. I understand Klinton's frustrations because they filter and make the manager look like he doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, we remember the time where the Real Madrid, the era of the Galacticos, they were buying the best players in the world for you, and it was your job as the manager. But the problem with that is they may not necessarily fit into your philosophy, right? Occasionally, you would go a season where it clicks and it works for you. And then you might go a season like this one that we are seeing with Real Madrid, where maybe Carlo, we all think, oh yeah, Carlo Ancelotti is the manager who can handle Kylian Mbappe and all these others. But maybe later when Carlo writes his book, he might say, you know what, I actually didn't want Kylian now. Everybody would be happy to manage Kylian Mbappe, but for the kind of project I had now, he was not the best fit for it. So that's the thing. I mean, who really would Enzo Maresca want? Why would you put him in a position, Sarah, Klinton, Alex, where he would be forced to say at a press conference that, you know what, Raheem Sterling it's not part of my plans. And no matter what you do, he's not part of my plans. I'm sorry, he would have to go. Ordinarily, Maresca would not say that. But this is the situation you have put him in. And he actually said, didn't he actually say that he has 21 players he's working with and that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
You know,
rest
he
he
has
doesn't
21.
need.
Yeah.
The rest
He doesn't
like,
need.
It makes
You know,
no sense.
Why do you put a manager in that
Yeah.
position for him to, you know, and that sort of statement is automatically going to make him enemies in the dressing room, enemies that he didn't ask for, enemies that the management put on him and that he didn't ask for. That is not good management of the club. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I completely agree. But as it stands, unfortunately for Alex, Todd Boehly is still at the realm of this team, and Chelsea will be taking on Wolves tomorrow at the Molineux. Going to be a big test for those.
Sorry, before we continue, right, let me just speak about this whole Chelsea and them having a battalion of a team in a dressing room, right? Yes, I understand that the problem is about the fact that they are putting a manager in a position that he would not probably love to find himself, yeah? And you have all these bunch of players. Now, do you guys not think that it's better to have a lot of people where you can select the best from than to have a few people. I mean, I can't remember if it was. No, hold on. Listen to this, Gary. Gary, there was a time that Chelsea fans would say, when you look at the bench, actually, it was even Man U as well. When you look at Man U bench, there was nothing solid to say if this guy comes off, this is the next best thing, right? Because they just didn't have as much player like they have in Chelsea. I'm asking you now, if you have all this battalion of players who are getting paid to play football, are you telling me that you cannot find the best out of these battalions and say, you guys, I see the talent in you, and you are the ones I want to use in getting us to Champions League football? This is my question.
I think when you look at it, there's having the players available to select, and then there's having 43 players.
Yeah, like this is the extreme. This isn't even having a lot.
Yeah, I see what you're trying to say, Klinton. I think, you know, having those players available, you want to have that depth. That squad depth is important, especially in a season now where they're playing so much football. They're playing Carabao Cup, FA Cup, you know, Conference League, Premier League. They're playing international games, you know, what feels like every other month. When you have a squad of 43 players, the dynamic is it becomes so much that, you know, those players who are on the fringes become, you know, upset perhaps, or, you know, discontented that they're not playing. They're working hard, but they're not playing. Yeah, like you said, they become less motivated. They're thinking, I want to leave. And this is the world of football now. If a player doesn't play regularly, he will want to leave, and that's natural. I think also when you look at, you know, the players that Chelsea do have on the fringes of the squad, I think the players that we brought in, we didn't need. There are players on the fringes of that squad. Conor Gallagher, who, you know, apparently Todd Boehly decided we didn't want. He was arguably our best midfielder last season. I look at the players we're getting rid of. Raheem Sterling, yes, he's maybe not as good as he was 5 years ago, 3 years ago, but he's still a talented player. In terms of on that left wing, I want to see him in that team. There are players that we're putting on the fringe of this squad. We're treating them horrifically, and then we're wondering why the rest of the players are perhaps not as motivated or perhaps not feeling as comfortable. Because when you're seeing players on the fringe of the squad who have done so much for the club. Conor Gallagher's an academy graduate. He went on to become captain. He's played, you know, he's played for Chelsea from, you know, when he was a little boy all the way through to the first team. When you're seeing players like that treated like they were, the players in that squad, they're going to be, you know, stepping on ice shells or whatever the phrase is. I'm forgetting the...
Eggshells.
Yeah, eggshells.
Ice
That's
shells.
That's what happens when you don't speak English as much in your day-to-day life. You forget all these phrases. But yes, you see all these, you know, players. They're probably wondering, if I put a foot wrong here, I'm out the door. So it doesn't create that dynamic of, I want to work for this club. I want to be motivated to do well for this club, because you're more nervous that, you know, one day you do something wrong, you're out the door, or it's no matter, you've got a lifetime of service to the club. We don't want you. That's it. You're out.
Speaking about that, by the way, Chelsea fans, if you are watching this live, please, I want to see your comments on what you think about this particular topic, because trust me, I'm very invested about Chelsea. Now, when you speak about the fact that there are players who probably train and they don't have any, you know, there's a probability that they might not even play, right? But what about the ones where they only just have this person as the only striker? For example, Nicholas Jackson, yeah, whom they feel like there's nobody arguing that position with him, right?
That's the thing. We're signing, what, 3 or 4 wingers, and we've got 1 striker.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're signing João Felix, who I think is a good player. Played for Chelsea, he likes it at Chelsea. He scored 4 goals in 16 games when he was last here. But when you're spending 60 million on a player like that, and then potentially we were going to spend 35 million on Omarodian, and then you're saying, well, the Osimhen deal might not work because we don't have the finances. Don't spend 90 million on players you don't need and put it in a Victor Osimhen deal. Sign the player that you need. Whoever is making the decisions, whoever is director of football, is doing the wrong things. They're making the wrong decisions, and they don't have the priority of what the club needs at the top. They're obviously, looking at the players that are the next best thing and going, I want him. They've seen Conor Gallagher's going to Atleti. They want that deal so much that they think, well, we'll have João Felix back.
Yeah.
Gary wants to say something.
So, I have 3 sets of vitamin pills I take every day. 3 sets of vitamins.
The props get better
Klinton,
every time, Gary.
this is for you. 3 sets of vitamin pills. The fact that I have all of them available every day does not mean that if a doctor just put them there, I just come and pop them off 1 or twice a day. No, there's an order to which I take the pills. That's exactly what's happening with Chelsea. You understand? So there literally is 2 things at play here. When you are a manager at a top level club like Chelsea or Man United, Man City, squad depth is important based on the trophies that you are challenging for. However, the squad depth must be in a way that suits your style. That's one. For every one of those managers that has come in, they've had quite different styles of the way they do things. And so those 42 players could arguably be 21 players that suits their style. And then the extras have absolutely no business in the style that the managers want. So that's literally a waste of money. Now, notice also when teams are getting into a groove in a season or in a successful season, they like not to tamper with their starting 11s or with their substitutions too much. So literally, for every good club, they have 2 players per position who are very good and who they can rely on. Those 2 players go at it at training, hammer and tongs, because I know that Klinton and Sara are going for this position in defensive midfield. So it's 2 of us. It can be me. Even if I don't play, my morale is high. My motivation is high because this guy, if we are in the Premier League and we are playing for the Carabao Cup and the EFL Cup and probably we are in the Conference League or Europa League or whatever, I know I'm going to get playing time. So that's going to work. What happens when there are 4 players or 5 players, or maybe if you have 42 players in some of the positions, you have 6 players in each position, it now becomes just not like that. Then we go back to Alex's argument where the players just want to leave because the end of the transfer window is coming. They look at the picking order and then they decide, Gary is taking this vitamin, and then there's this backup vitamin, and then there's this backup vitamin. If I am this vitamin, he's never going to take me. Give me to another human being. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So, Klinton, with this biblical parable of the vitamin, I'm telling you that this is not the way high-level players want to be treated in clubs.
I mean, personally, right? I would not even think. Sorry, okay, Sarah, go on. Sarah, go on. It's fine. Don't worry, go on.
Some of the YouTube, people are checking in on YouTube, and I feel we asked them, so let's hear what they have to say. XL has said, I think the issue with Chelsea is the owners. They just want to make money out by loaning those players, by stripping Sterling of his shirt is wild. Markinde says, this Chelsea team is so confused. There's no way this team is progressing. I doubt if they can be ahead of Fulham on the table. Isaac says, I think Chelsea just want to rebuild, and it takes time, Alex, because Raheem definitely needs to pave the way as well for the young players.
They're rebuilding in the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly. XL says, with the way Chelsea are playing, they'll finish a little above the relegation zone. Destiny says, good morning, chatting from Nigeria. Well, sincerely speaking, I love what Klinton is saying. How can a club like Chelsea, that we all know to be the best, is now in this kind of condition? And then XL says, Chelsea has simply lost the aura.
You know, let me tell you part of the things that make me bleed when I think about Chelsea, right? When you look back, I don't know how many more minutes we have to speak about Chelsea. I believe we have a lot.
Less than one.
Okay, we have less than one. But you see, my anger when I think about Chelsea is the fact that Chelsea used to be a very big club. And when I say a big club, I'm talking about a club where nearly the half of Nigerians, like even great granddads, they will tell you they don't know who the players are, but they know Chelsea. Even all the girls, both the runs. Sorry, I mean using the word runs girls, but run girls are basically girls that do runs in Nigeria, by the way. But
this club won the Champions League 3 years ago.
Well, exactly. They won the Champions League under who? Thomas Tuchel, right?
Yeah.
Right? That was a manager that knew he was doing and
then
got fired
sacked
for
him
no
after
reason.
a month.
For some reason I don't understand. Now, when you look at this Chelsea team currently is nowhere near the Chelsea in the last 10 years. When you're talking about the times of Didier Drogba, Mikel Obi, like all of these players in Chelsea, is what we see with teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona. At some point, they were getting to that level where Chelsea is now, but I'm happy that they are beginning to pick up again. Chelsea, do they look like a team that's about to pick up? It feels like somebody's literally just said it, that they look like a team that will probably finish ahead of a team like Fulham. Fulham is meant to be a mid-table team on a good day.
Chelsea's a mid-table team right now.
No, Chelsea is just made of average. More than half of the players in Chelsea should be playing for teams like Nottingham Forest.
Clubs that are going to Chelsea thinking we can get a result here.
No,
10 years ago.
Hey, Wolves are thinking this. I'm telling you right now, Wolves are thinking this.
If Mourinho was the manager, we had Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, John Terry. That team.
These are players. These are players that when you want to go face as an opposition, you are scared before the game starts.
Yeah.
You're scared that we are going into this game. If we get a draw, that's a win for us. Right now, Chelsea going to play Nottingham Forest, Chelsea fans are scared. Chelsea going to play Fulham, Chelsea fans are scared. Chelsea going to play Bournemouth, Chelsea fans are scared. That's why it's so. Like I said, I'm not a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
Genuinely, if you were to watch the show, you think he'd support Chelsea more than you, Alex.
No, but it's so annoying.
Yes. Well, what's good is that we'll be back tomorrow after the Chelsea game because I feel like we're going to have a lot to talk about whether they win or lose. Again, they are playing Wolves tomorrow at the Molineux. All right, let's quickly jump to Arsenal and Aston Villa because I want to get your predictions for the match. I know we spoke a lot about this match yesterday. Biggest match of the Premier League, two top-of-the-table clubs going in at it, Spanish manager versus Spanish manager. Really quickly, this is what Mikel Arteta had to say about Aston Villa and how Villa beat Arsenal twice last season.
They scored and we didn't. Very simple. In 2 games, even though we had enormous amount of chances to do that. And that was one of the big differences. There are other details for sure that we have analyzed and we'll have to do better tomorrow. But yeah, and because they are a really good side, really well coached.
What makes them particularly difficult to play against?
They dominate every aspect of the game, you know. You give them a space to run, they are phenomenal. When they have no space and they have to find spaces, they're able to do that. And in restart set pieces, they are at it. That's why they did what they did.
Klinton, do you expect Aston Villa to win the match later today? Give me a prediction.
Do you want a prediction or you want me to
both.
say? Okay, right. Now, first of all, Gary, sorry, because I know this is your... You know, this is your club, and fact is, I mean, we spoke about it yesterday. This is the kind of game where you go to and just expecting anything to happen. It probably even end the draw. You just never know. They are very good teams. They have very good managers. Arsenal, they have the quality of players that should even be winning the Champions League as we speak. As a matter of fact, I don't know what happened to Arsenal last season. You know, it was always that whole nearly, and you know somehow it doesn't happen for them. But this game today with Aston Villa is going to be a do or die because I don't think Arsenal wants to see what happened to them the last time they faced Aston Villa. This time they want to come in, you know, with proper full force and. They are coming in with the mindset of we are not coming to get a draw, we are coming in to win. Now, Aston Villa next is, what would they be looking at? Would they be looking at, right, okay, we don't want to give them that whole, you win me, I won you back. No, they probably want to continue with that whole winning streak. And what's going to happen in this game? The truth is, I cannot tell you for real because these are very good teams. I cannot fault Aston Villa. I cannot fault Arsenal. When you watch, these are teams that we cannot even quantify, like teams like Manchester United or Chelsea or which other team can I even say? Brighton, whatever. Like these teams are teams that are doing so well in the Premier League as we speak. So can Aston Villa win? Definitely they can win. Can Arsenal win? Definitely they can win. So the truth is, my prediction, I don't know.
You really are turning into Alex Ashmore. I don't know. It could be this way. It could be that way.
Welcome to the dark side, my friend.
He genuinely is. He's giving you so much stick. Don't take it out.
But I told you guys yesterday, though, if I was going to go by who I want to be winning the game today, I'll be going for Aston Villa. Why? Because it's not because of Arsenal as a team. It's only because I want Arsenal fans to cry. That's the only reason why I don't want Arsenal to win.
Gary, I'll tell you right now.
I love to see Arsenal fans cry.
If Brighton win, Gary, I need you to come with some heat. I need you to come with something for Klinton, because the way he comes for not Arsenal, but you fans, is criminal.
Come with your heat. We have ACs here. Fam, I'll be able to shade it off. But you are not going to win today, Gary. You would not win.
No problem. The only thing is, look, last season we had 42 points on our travels. Yeah, that was quite a lot. Conceded the fewest goals, 13. Had the most clean sheets, 11. We are building on that, and I think that something special is brewing. And I think that the boys understand that the statement has to be made, coupled with the fact that I think the Villa team, you watched them last week. Onana, like I said last week in the previews, is a player that I really like to watch, but they're not as settled enough. They'll be a very interesting prospect, Villa, and dangerous going on. But before they settle, I think we are going to get a win. Simple. I think we are going to get a win. Grind it out and get that win today. Very important. Yeah.
Nice one, Gary. Alex, little prediction for this one?
I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1.
It'll be a tough game. I can't see either side getting the better of each other. I think, Arsenal in 2024 have been brilliant on their travels.
Alex.
But I think Aston Villa.
Alex.
Gary, if I must say, Gary, if I think there is one team that will win, I think it's Arsenal. But I think at this stage of the season, I think it'll be a close run thing.
Man, it's not sounding like me now, right?
I love this, Gary. Oh, that's good. All right, well, yes, very exciting matches. And remember, guys, we have the Manchester City and Ipswich match later on today on SportyTV. That match will be at 3 p.m. Watt, 2 p.m. GMT.
And this is on SportyTV, right?
This is on SportyTV.
So, guys, obviously, it's on SportyTV. So, Manchester City versus Ipswich is on SportyTV. Nigerians, I was told that Haaland is away for how many games?
He's playing.
Four matches or something like that.
Yeah, how many matches?
Is it 4 matches or so?
Yeah.
He's injured.
It's something around there. And I think this is a good news for Ipswich players. I was saying that we love what's it called? We love surprises. We love shocks. And I understand that if Manchester City lack 3 of their best players, somehow they still deliver wins. And but I'm hoping that Ipswich would put up something. You put up a very strong fight, and if possible, I'm hoping that they do cop a win. If you ask me, that would be very good.
Okay, guys, I'm just literally looking at a tweet. I saw the stories on some of the big websites yesterday, but I'm seeing one Manchester City reporter who I trust on Twitter say he has not heard anything, and that Haaland trained yesterday as per the photos, and he had no idea where the rumor started. But I think I saw
Alex
it
and I think we're confused because I hadn't heard a thing.
Yeah,
so,
but it was out there though. I mean, it was out there.
Wow.
I mean, you can't believe it because Gary saw it same.
All right. Well, Manchester City, like I said, will be taking on Ipswich later on today on SportyTV. Again, 3 p.m. Watt, 2 p.m. GMT. And right after that match is Eintracht Frankfurt and Dortmund opening up their Bundesliga campaigns. And then even later, guys, we'll go to the Serie A because Inter is taking on Lecce, and that is at 7:45 Watt, 6:45 GMT. Let's see if Lautaro Martinez will continue his scoring record at Inter. All right, guys, let's talk a little La Liga before we wrap this show up quickly. Real Madrid taking on Real Valladolid tomorrow, and Jude Bellingham is likely to be out until the end of September. Alex, how do we feel about the loss of the Englishman at the beginning of the season here?
I think it's a big miss. I was really impressed with him against Mallorca. I think he was one of the key players in that midfield. We know how good he is as a player. We saw how well he did last season. I think with this injury, as well as the Camavinga injury, I think it's a real blow to that Real Madrid midfield. Thankfully, though, I think that means, if you look on the bright side, we'll see perhaps a little bit more of Arda Güler. And I think this will be his time to shine because, you know, Modric, I imagine Modric will play on Sunday. I think he'll be in that starting midfield, 3 perhaps alongside Valverde and Tchouaméni. But I think we'll see a lot more of Arda Güler because he's impressed over the Euros. He impressed last season. I think he's really come into his own in the last couple of months. So, you know, hopefully we can see a lot more of him.
I hope so as well. I love seeing the young players kind of really come into their own. Markinde says, he deleted his comment.
I saw it too. I saw it too. He can't even run away.
You said no.
He said it's a blessing in disguise.
It's a blessing in disguise.
That Bellingham is in on the game.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that.
All right, talk to me, Gary, because I need him to also.
He said it again. He said it again.
Gary, why is this a blessing?
I was going to say that because what Real Madrid need right now is as they say, a force majeure, like a reason outside of football to be able to try and see what will work in this team, right? We all agree, everybody agrees that they have too much of a good thing going on where they are a bit too stacked in the superstar department. And so maybe the injury that they did not, obviously they didn't want any injury. It's not the injury that they wanted in Bellingham, you know, getting injured. Maybe they would have wanted one of the guys who's going to be on the left wing to get injured so that it makes the choice easier for Carlo Ancelotti, and then they know what works and what doesn't work. But if Jude is injured, who's going to, Alex, help me here, who's going to deputize for him? Who's going to be the obvious choice to be in that position?
Luka, it has to be.
I think it will be Luka. I think Ancelotti will go for experience, but that's not to say over the next couple of the month coming up, you know, the Champions League starting, there's a lot of football. I think Arda Güler will play an important role in this midfield in the next month.
Yeah.
And bang, that's what I'm talking about.
And bang.
I mean, the football world needed a reason to see some of these players shine. And I mean, Arda Güler has shown at every possible opportunity for club and country that he's worth waiting for. And so if Luka is playing 60 minutes, the game is wrapped up after 2-0. Carlo brings in Arda Güler. He shows his quality, gives a couple of visionary passes. Then we know that position is, you know, is like I was saying in the Chelsea argument, is being fought for. Also, it gives the club confidence that with Luka going very, very soon, that position is going to be taken and going to be fought for by and going to be fought for properly by Jude Bellingham and Arda Güler. So that's what I'm saying is a blessing in disguise. And Jude has played, the second reason is Jude has played an incredible amount of football. What I would have loved is, you see what Man City are doing with Rodri, where they are literally allowing the guy to take his time to come back, get all the rest he needs after the grueling campaign of 63 games. That is insane. He played last season. I'm not sure what Jude's total last season was, but it's going to be somewhere in that ballpark figure. Yeah. This is nature's way, I'm thinking, of letting the young man rest as well. So I don't see it as a minus too much because these boys need rest. Football is coming thick and fast. He'll be fine, but I think it's a blessing in disguise.
Absolutely. I'm going to end the show with asking Alex Ashmore a quick question. Barcelona taking on Bilbao. Nico Williams versus Lamine Yamal, arguably one of the most exciting, potentially most exciting matches with these two going at it with the youngsters in La Liga. Does Nico Williams have something to prove here in Barcelona this evening?
I think not so much in Barcelona, but I think in La Liga this season. I think, you know, we're obviously really impressed with how he did at the Euros, but we want to see him do it consistently for year on year in La Liga. And I think if he does, that will certainly bump up that price tag a few $1 million or a few million euros, I think.
Yeah. I'm very excited for tonight's match, obviously being a Barca fan, but also to see these two go at it.
La Liga need him, Sarah.
Sorry?
La Liga need Nico to shine brightly. La Liga, like the league, the marketing.
Brighter?
Yes, La Liga needs those kids to shine very brightly for the marketability of the league.
Yeah, this match this evening is going to be massive, so let's hope for a good one. All right, guys, a friendly reminder, tomorrow, I can't even speak again. SportyTV has the Belgian Pro League, Dender versus Club Brugge at 12:30 Watt. EFL Championship, the, once again, Welsh derby. It's Cardiff versus Swansea at 3 p.m. Watt, and La Liga is in action with Leganés taking on Las Palmas at 5:30 Watt tomorrow. Klinton Cod will be at Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu before the show, and we will be talking to him post Real Madrid and all of that drama. So enjoy the football, guys. There's so much going on. We'll be back tomorrow evening to discuss it all.
Ebwe.